After the statement by Tan Sri Zaki Azmi, Chief Justice Malaysia, on the 7th of November in Kuching, that he had in fact bribed court officials way back in 1987 when he was practicing lawyer, and subsequent clarification that he was aware of corruption in the registry, but there was a misinterpretation of what he said. Now, whatever it be, even assuming for a moment that his correction is right, even then, being aware of corruption way back in 1987 in the court registry, he was bound to make a police report, or at least report to the Lord President then, which he didn't. In fact, that by itself is sufficient to disqualify him from being a Chief Justice, because I think that reflects upon his integrity, character and so forth. But to my mind, it is more that he did say that he was in fact guilty of bribery way back in 1987. I think that was a public admission. There was no retraction by the New States Times which reported it. Neither was there an apology. I in fact went to the extent of lodging a police report. I even wrote to the New States Times to ensure that any recording of what was said by Tan Sri Zaki in Kuching or any notes made by the reporter concerned be preserved. I then made an attempt, in fact, to move a motion of urgent public importance on this issue in Parliament, but the Speaker ruled it out on the ground that having regard to Article 127 of the Federal Constitution, the conduct of a judge cannot be discussed in Parliament unless you have the support of 1/4 of the members of Parliament, which makes it 55. I then, in fact, submitted a motion in the last sitting of Parliament, pursuant to Article 127, and I had at that time, if I have not mistaken, 57 members of Parliament supporting that move. But on the last day, because of British Convention, once government business is over, the House can be adjourned. In fact, I brought it up just before the House was about to be adjourned, and the Speaker, in fact, said that he understood my dilemma, but having regard to the British Convention, there was nothing he could do. And this was actually the Deputy Speaker. And he, in fact, in the House said that he would arrange a meeting between himself and the Speaker himself to discuss what ought to be done. In fact, yesterday I have submitted a motion to the State of the Dewan Rakyat, putting up a similar motion. This time it is supported by 63 members of Parliament, and I hope that will be in fact allowed to be debated. For criminality, there is no time limit. You can be charged even 100 years after the commission of an offence. That is our law. And at that time, the Prevention of Corruption Act 1961 was in force. And the law is very clear. Under that law, he can still be prosecuted. In fact, Tan Sri Zaki ought to be prosecuted.
Maybe, is it call for Tan Sri Zaki to resign from his position?
In fact, I have written to him on the 16th of December, an open letter that he should step down, he should resign.
I mean,
but he is not even replying my letter.
Is it done on interest of your party, DAP?
No, it is in the interest of the public. You cannot have a Chief Justice who is in fact corrupt. It's as simple as that. In fact, I dare the Chief Justice to sue me for defamation if he thinks he is right. It's as simple as that. He can't keep quiet. I mean, you can't allow this issue to be just left unattended, dismissed out of hand, hope that it just flies over. It can't fly over. In fact, I have to appear before the Chief Justice when I practiced, in any case, in the federal court. It's going to be very embarrassing with me standing there and he sitting up there, or rather with me sitting also under these circumstances.
So maybe you dare him to sue you?
Yes, I dare him to sue me because that's the only way out, in fact. Either he's right or I am right. Both can't be right. One has to go. Either he goes or I go. It's as simple as that. Because what I have said is not correct. It amounts to criminal defamation. And I can be charged under Section 500 of the Penal Code. I can be fined and I can be imprisoned.
Sorry, once again, Penal Code section?
Section 500 for criminal defamation. It's a very serious matter to defame criminally a Chief Justice of the country. But I'm prepared to take the risk because, to my mind, what he has done, or what he has said rather, was in fact said. There is no doubt about it in my mind. He has not denied it. All he has done is to try to make a clarification. Even the clarification condemns him because he says he was aware of corruption in the registry in 1987. And the reporter, in fact, may have misinterpreted that as being that as if he was involved in corruption, which is impossible. Because what he said was this. It took me, I think it was a period of time, to be in the good books of the court officials at the registry. In fact, I had to be nice to them. I had to bribe them individually to get back into their good books. How could the reporter have misinterpreted that if all he said was that there was corruption in the registry? He could not have made up all that. It's impossible. And the NST has not, in fact, retracted what it has said. It has not apologized. And Tan Sri Azmi has not dared to get the NST to retract and apologize to him. Yes. I think it's a very serious matter. We just can't let it lie. This country operates on the principle of separation of powers. And the powers are these. It is the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. The judiciary is the third arm of government. And the Chief Justice is head of the third arm of government. It's a very, very serious matter. I'm surprised why Tan Sri Zaki is being stubborn in not stepping down. He ought not to have pushed me to this extent. But I find there is no alternative. In the public interest, I have to speak up, and I'm prepared to take the risk. I'm prepared to take the risk of being sued for defamation, pay damages, prepared to take the risk of going to prison, prepared to take the risk of losing my parliamentary seat, prepared to take the risk of being unable to stand for the next general election. I mean, those are the odds against me. And I think the odds are likewise similar against him. Anything else? I think I don't make it into a charama. Yeah, ada apa-apa lain? Huh?
What do you think of the prospects of the Council of Rulers actually?
I think the Council of Rulers are duty-bound. Are duty-bound to call for a meeting to review their decision to have recommended Tan Sri Zaki's appointment as Chief Justice. I don't blame them. At that time, these matters were not there. So they bona fide confirmed the appointment. I don't blame them. But in the light of what has happened now, they can't sit back. In fact, in the conference of rulers, we have a former Lord President. Raja Azlan Shah, Sultan Raja Azlan Shah is on the conference of rulers, former Lord President. He knows more law than I do.